Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is Message. Hi, Dan. All right.
Welcome to Tea Time with
Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. This is super recent. Welcome to Tea Time with Bunky. I missed you guys. I really did. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Political Tea Time with Bunky on this Political Tuesday. Yeah, I appreciate you all for taking this journey with me thus far from April 15, 2021 till now. Thank you to all my Tea Time with Bunky followers and subscribers. Those that are new, enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey. Those that have been with me from the beginning, I truly appreciate everything you've done for me. You can catch Tea Time with Bunky on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, streaming live. And you can catch me on Tuesdays on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All your favorite podcast platforms. Shout out to the VGN Network. This week has been pretty interesting. I'm not angry this week. This week I'm not. No, I was scared. No, was I angry? Maybe both last week. This week I'm a little angry, but not really. Just disappointed and over it, basically. So that's what all of this has brought to me. We're talking about, listen, my guest tonight, Bishop Williams, was he was my first guest on Tea Time with Bunky. Before it wasn't political, it was just regular Tea Time with Bunky. And it's kind of hitting now that I think about it, because it was religion. Where's the church at such a time as this? That was the title. Where's the church at such a time as this? This was during the murder of George Floyd, where the church, Black church, was MIA. And I had Bishop on, and he's coming on tonight. Tonight is the church a guide or a voice in today's political arena? Yo, it goes perfect. Let me bring first my co-host on. Hey, Sean.
What's happening? How you feeling?
Listen, I'm excited about this. You know, when it comes to talking about church stuff, you know, that just gets me hyped. You know,
yeah, but you don't go to church.
No, I don't, but I'm spiritual. It's still in me.
Yeah, but why? So why you say church stuff then?
Because when I say the church, because you know how we grew up, it's always the church. We talk about the building, right? The people in the building, the church. During the George Floyd time, they were MIA. And I compared it to, well, not everybody, because Bishop Williams was in those streets, right? I compare it to the 60s with Martin Luther King and all of them. The church was involved in everything and making a change. But I didn't see them during George Floyd. And now the political climate the political climate, like we had mentioned on last show, or the previous Political Tuesday, where it was an emphasis on the Catholic Church. It was involved in everything. So that's why I say the church. So Shad, you don't have to throw me under the bus. No, I don't go to church like I'm supposed to. I go when the Lord say go, I go.
That's
because I'm spiritual, because I don't like a lot of the stuff. Me and Bishop has had this conversation before. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on tonight's wait a minute. Let me wait before I bring him up. This is the title. Bring on tonight's guest, Bishop John C. Williams.
What's happening? What's happening?
Shad, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you feeling?
I'm good.
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful by the grace of God.
Thank you for being here, taking time out of your extremely busy schedule.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Crazy conversation with me and Shad.
Mm-hmm.
Before, because we're gonna have to take a break in like a few minutes, but before we do that, tell everybody a little bit about you that don't know anything about you.
Okay. I'm 6'4", 220 pounds, light skin.
Well, we see that.
oh, something else. Oh, okay. I am. So I was born in Monticello, raised in Middletown. Half of Monticello is my family.
Yes,
I serve as the lead pastor of Faith Alive Ministries in Middletown, Faith Alive Ministries International, in Middletown, New York. I also have served for the last 11 years on the Board of Education here in Middletown. Spent the last 5 years as the president, 2 years prior to that as the vice president. Have stepped down, moving on to other things, still being a part of the board, but moving on to other things now on the state level. And I've evangelized. I've traveled all across the world and done a lot of different things. But the best part, I think the best thing about me is that I'm married to beautiful Sharonda Williams, and I have 3 beautiful children. Jalen is 21, Aaron is 18 in his first year in college at Dominican University on a full ride scholarship for track and field. And I have a baby girl who's 14, a freshman in high school now. So, and I like people, so.
And you're heavily involved in the church. You've always been, your whole family. You come from your parents were Bishop Williams and Evangelist Claudine Williams. Your brother's a pastor. I mean, like, that's what y'all do. Yeah, so when you have people like me, like when you look at the climate,
mm-hmm.
and you see how involved and how they surrounded this man, how do you feel about that? I don't know if I should be going with this first shot or you, because I have my
since
feelings.
You went there,
okay.
since you went there and opened up the door.
Yeah, that's open.
Let's just
step into it.
Let's say it like it is.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the physical church that you see is not really the church. The church is the people of God. It's not the buildings. It's not our institutions or organizations. It's what those things we call the church. We call the church. And are they important? They are. But the supporters
did he freeze or was that?
Of our form, the church wide. There, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay.
The voters church wide were well, let's just be real. It was white evangelicals.
Yes, it was. And you know what?
Evangelical church. It wasn't the church as a whole.
No,
it was the white evangelical church that supported him.
Wait, hold on, because I'm gonna have to take a break, but I'm just gonna take it now so that we don't have to stop, because it's about to get good. We'll be right back in 1 minute. 1 second. And welcome back. Okay, let's get into it. It was the white evangelical church.
Yes.
That prayed over him.
Right.
And made him think he's the second coming.
So let's since we're here, we might as well go ahead and say what we got to say.
Okay.
For all my white evangelical brothers and sisters, at the end of the day, the white evangelical church made this about certain issues that really is not issues to be legislated. It's they're talking about this man is son of God, a man who is depraved, who's racist, who's a man who has said so many crazy things, has never changed, even in his rhetoric throughout the whole process. But he got the attention of people. For the white evangelical church that supported him. And again, I don't want to indict everybody, because it was not everybody. You can't put everybody in the same basket. But for those in certain places and certain seats of power, this was about power. This was not about God. That support was not about God. It had nothing to do with God. They used a rhetoric of being about God, but it was about maintaining strongholds of power, because of the changing climate, because of the changing demographics of the nation. And so, hey, I understand it. When you're in power, nobody wants to lose power. If I'm in power, I don't want to lose power. I want to maintain control too. I get it. But the reality is that they politicized issues. They politicized issues, LGBTQ, LGBTQ, same-sex marriages, abortion, transgender rights, and all of those different things. What they did is that they politicized and trying to legislate issues that are not issues, that are issues of the heart, that are issues that really, to be honest, if the church as a whole had done their job, we would not have to legislate those things.
Wait a second, bitch. Let Shaw jump in real quick, because I know I can see he biting at the bit. You have something?
Oh no, I'm listening.
Because I want to include you. I'm trying to.
No. I get it. Yo, listen. I'm gonna jump in when it needs to jump in. My thought on this whole thing while we are here, is that there's 17 million people who didn't show up. That's the key. So it doesn't matter how many. Everybody took an L. There's 4 million people that voted less for him than it did when he lost the last time. There's 7 million altogether with the Democrats. They need to redefine their messaging. And for those who believe that it's solely, the male Puerto Rican, male Latin thing that swung it, even if that's so, there's 3 things that we understand about Latin people. 3 things they love, right? And this is what's going to tie back into all of this. They love their family. They love to get paid. And they like to go to church. They go to church. They believe in God. So unless you're going to these churches, these outreaches, not no more in the African American churches, because that's indoctrinated in us. It's starting to slip away. But you need to go back to the new fastest growing population, which is the Latins, and to meet them on the issues that you care about. For them to see, you have to meet them in a safe space. That safe space is the church. If you're not going to the church, there's 2 things they care about. It's very simple. And Donald Trump, not even Donald Trump, the Republican Party. Yo, listen, did you have more money back then? See. Is milk more now? See. Okay, who you going to vote for? Unless you're going to the churches, think about it. Just the other, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, right? Towards the end of the summer, the beginning of the summer, they had church outside on Main Street in Liberty. That was the perfect time. They're outside. There's 50, 60 people, their family. These are the people who work and live in our neighborhoods. These are the people that you need to tap into. Because if you don't, the head of the household, who's usually the male, the guy who's, came here legally, started working construction, has his own company, he's hiring his peoples, they're thinking, yo, listen, now gas is a lot more. I can't buy breakfast for the whole crew. Like I was. You get what I'm saying? So unless you go to the churches where Abuela is there, the mom is there, the little girl, the son, and you're really reaching them, there's a disconnect. But this still goes back to how the church and politics come together.
Okay, so let me ask Bishop. Bishop. Given the historic influence the church has on shaping the morals and the values, right? Our morals, everybody's morals and values aren't the same. You know what? Some people, money is everything. Some people, a peace of mind is everything. So the way we see things are totally different. But how do you believe that the church should play How do you think it's the church should play in today's political landscape? They like I said, the morals and the values, the 10 commandments. This person has broken, let's say, 7 of the 10 commandments, and they still voted for him.
That we know of. But did I say
That
that?
we
But
it is what it is. Right?
but
And this is
so I'll tap into what Shah just
Shah.
said too, along with, in my response to that question. It's the church. The church is such a vital institution within our communities, and even people, the conversation that you and Shah were having in the beginning, even those that don't necessarily go to church per se anymore have some history with the church.
right.
So it's been an institution. There's been an effect. There's been an impact. And so, the days of the church not being involved in the things that going on in the world. So there's a word that I've always used is when I talk about being relevant and having relevancy in this season and in this hour. That one of the things is that what the Democrats didn't do is that they really waited too late to tap into people's faith. And so as a pastor, I'll say this: one of our local politicians, he's a national politician, a good man who I support, who won his election, who did a great job, did a fantastic job. I support him. He called me up the Sunday before the election, or called me up the week before the election, and wanted to come to my church on Sunday morning. And I told him no.
Thank you.
The reason I said no was, it's not that I don't support you. It's
Right,
not
but
that
you
I
don't
don't
come some
believe
other
in what
time.
you're doing, but I don't want to mess up your message, because your message right now is that you only want to come to my church on the Sunday before the
Yes.
election to get my vote.
Yes.
When you should have been coming to my church all along to find out what can I do to help you in your community. And so this was the sad point of the messaging, and it was not. And so we can take it outside of that, not even just with the church, the messaging overall with people, with Hispanic people, with Muslims, with whoever it was, the messaging overall. Why did we have 17 million people? Shah brought the point up. Why do we have 17 million people that did not even show up to vote?
Wait, hold that thought. 17 million people. We're gonna bring it right back in 1 second. We'll be right back.
Okay.
And welcome back. How quick was that? Okay.
I love those commercials.
It doesn't mess with the flow. Okay.
But 17 million people that did not vote. It's because the messaging. But you have to. One of the things is that the church has to do. The church has to be super relevant in this day and age. The Bible says this. The Bible says that we are the salt of the earth. And then it tells us that we are the light of the world. And I've said this before, and you've heard me. I've said it probably on this show before. Is that salt that stays in the shaker doesn't do anybody any good. Salt has to be applied in order for it to bring out the flavor of creation, the flavor of what God's intention was. We're the light of the world. We can't light up anything if we're head underneath the basket. And so for so long, the church didn't get involved in so many different things, especially the Pentecostal church, because we stayed away from these things, not wanting to mix politics with God. But the fact of the matter is, the reason why we're in situations and days like this is because we did not apply ourselves. We as we as and I don't call myself a Christian. I don't call myself a Christian. Christian is a derogatory term that they used to describe the believers of Jesus Christ in the Bible. And and I'm not putting down the term Christian. If people want to call themselves Christians, fine. I call myself a believer. I'm a believer, or a disciple. And at the end of the day, that I've got to be involved. We as believers, whether you're spiritual, whether you attend the church or not, we must be involved in every area of life. We should be. We should be in politics. We should be in the boardrooms. We should be in hospitals. We should be in the court systems. We should be in those things. We should be in schools. We should be there so that we can provide the unique flavor, experiences, and culture that we bring to make impact in the world. And the fact of the matter is that we don't.
No, we don't. And because you're a pastor and people are going to be like, you're talking about church or whatever, I just want to bring up one of the most, for me, I don't know how to say this without being wrong and people coming for me. It's one of the scriptures in the Bible, that just irks my nerves, because I'm like, because that's not me. And I think that's what they use. Because when you talked about some of the things they were talking about the LGBTQ, they were talking about women's productive rights, is the abortion and thing. And we're in the apostolic Pentecostal, like that right there. All of those things are like, you're doomed if you do any of that. Right? Oh my God, like homosexuality. If you get,
let me ask a question though, real quick.
Because I want to bring it to Romans 13.
That's the question, because I got something to say about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Romans 13. Okay, go ahead, Shad.
Everybody interprets God, the Bible, religion, so differently. This is just me. I believe that the church should be about the community, and your politics are your politics. Now, it does say a lot on your morals and how you view things, but two things can be right at the same time. You get yeah, absolutely. And I mean, especially when it's opinion based. Mm-hmm. I can't tell somebody that their God loves them more. You get what I'm saying? Like, right. We can both read the same scripture, and get you said,
totally different. Different.
And so now at that point, it's like, okay, we all serve the same God, but there might be other things that might sway my political view. Now, you can't say because my political view is different. Go ahead.
No. So let me respond to that. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. What I was saying earlier too is that we've tried to politicize those particular issues, like women's reproductive rights, LGBTQ things. Now, whatever my stance and my belief is one thing, mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, is the sin as described by the church, the sin of abortion, or the sin of homosexuality, described by the church. I'm putting.
Yeah, according to the church definition.
According to the church, is that any different than the sin of my telling a lie? Is that any different than the sin? At the end of the day, all sin is transgression. And so at the end of the day, when the reason that I went the direction and I voted the way that I did, and I bring my politics, not bringing my politics. I don't think politics belong in the church, but we have to have an opinion. At the end of the day, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. And we all need somebody. We need somebody to have grace on us. Just because I carry the title of bishop just because I got my cross on, I got my bishop's ring on, et cetera, and I stand in the pulpit and I preach, don't mean I'm any less subject to the temptations and to the sin of the world. I need forgiveness. I need God to cover me. I need God's grace. I need God's mercy every day of my life. And so this is one of the things we can't make those issues to be our political issues. Those are not political issues. Those are issues that need to be handled by love, by grace. Love, the Bible tells us love covers a multitude of sin. And so, why I believe this, people like I get really agitated when I look out and I see crowds of people walking around with signs that saying God hates homosexuals. God doesn't hate homosexuals. In fact, God doesn't hate any of us.
But some people will interpret.
Sin.
Some people will interpret that the sin is of the person.
The sin is
right.
The sin doesn't mean, the Bible tells us this: God so loved the world. That means he loved every one of us in order to give us an opportunity at redemption. Will everybody take the opportunity? Will everybody be able to partake in it? No. But the fact of the matter is he presents that opportunity for us to all be redeemed. Will we all be redeemed? Of course, maybe, probably not. But at the end of the day, it's the actions and the decisions that we make. But that doesn't mean that God hates the person. My children, when I discipline my children, I discipline my children based on their actions, but that doesn't mean I stop loving them.
Right.
And this is, and are there consequences to their action? There are consequences to their actions. And so I think this is the mistake that we've made by involving certain things in the politics of saying that, and that's what I said about the white evangelical church. The white evangelical church has made those particular issues the political issues, when in fact you can't legislate an issue of the heart. You can't legislate an issue, again, with the people and their, you can't legislate certain things. And so we have to be able to, the church should have been more involved in things in their community, because I believe that the church is about community as well.
Right.
I believe that the church is about community. We should be involved. You got to go take a break.
Got to take a break. Welcome back. Do you think that once the church get involved, like with what happened in this situation, like with the evangelical church, is it possible to remain neutral? Not, be like, oh, it's all or nothing. Is there a way to remain neutral?
The thing is that everybody's going to have to, you have to pick a side. But you, and I don't want to fault people, again, to Shad's point a little bit earlier, people's politics are their politics. I'm not mad about this. I'll be honest with you. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. But I'm not mad. Think about this. Half the country on Tuesday night, when the results came in, half the country was disappointed and half the country was happy.
I went to sleep. I didn't watch it. I waited till the next day. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, I kind of waited to I woke up at 3:00 in the morning. But think about it. If it had went the other way, half the country would have been disappointed, and half the country. At the end of the day, I preached this Sunday. Life keeps lifing.
Yes.
And life's always going to have challenges. There's always going to be challenges. I'm a black man.
But we're allowing people should be outraged. No. People should be outraged. I don't
because they put Bishop. I'm
not saying you should be outraged about certain things.
We've normalized
the hate.
But it's not ugly. It's not even Donald Trump's fault. Like, you got to understand, this is transgressed since the internet and social media, that it's gotten to the point to where it's like, it's normal. Like,
Yeah,
and people say, and this is some
Agreed.
for some little bit of facts, just for the gap wasn't that big, dude. You're
It
talking
wasn't.
about 50 to 48 point something is less than a percentage point. And then
I
you
agree.
figure in 17 million registered voters. That's not even what's here or who didn't get the register. There's 17 million less that didn't vote, period. It's bigger than Donald Trump. It's bigger than the Democratic Party. We as a whole,
a
not only the
nation,
black community, but a
a
whole,
nation, a
have to start
nation.
figuring things out and stop normalizing a lot of this crazy stuff. This is a crazy time. This
Well,
is
what
a
I'll
very
happened?
agree.
crazy
I'll
time.
agree.
I think that the first Trump run, he normalized, he made it okay for the ugly to really come out and stand. I mean, it started with President Obama won. That's when they started their shenanigans. That's when they started the crazy. And it
Hmm.
wasn't checked then. It really wasn't checked. They was just letting them do whatever they want to do. Then Trump comes into position and he made it okay for them to say all the stupid stuff he was already saying out loud, all the hateful stuff. Henceforth, today is why you have so many young African Americans, young little kids getting these text messages because it's was made okay.
That's
And
what I'm
he's
outraged about. Those are the
yes,
things
stuff
that I'm
like that.
outraged about.
And
I'm
politically and
yeah.
the church, they okay. I mean, like, really, this dude basically said that there is no greater man. He compared himself to Jesus, and nobody went on.
Better than I. Nobody even cared. Nobody even thought twice to
They
be
didn't
like,
think
I
twice
was
nah.
about
like
that.
the blasphemy, like my heart jumped. I was like, oh, he can ready get it. Like that's how I felt like, but they
But think about it. But
They didn't.
still
listen, we've all known or we've heard stories growing up, 60s, 70s, and the 80s. It was a joke to know the bling preacher.
yeah,
Like it
the
wasn't it
klepto
wasn't a lot.
dollars
No,
and
no, no.
stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of them.
No,
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
a
a lot of
lot
them.
of them.
Just a few.
Yeah, but and we didn't. You heard stories. Now you can see, you can literally see it by turning on your phone, and that's where the disconnect. Like I, I wasn't even really raised in a church, but every time my grandmother had me, we was in church 3 nights a week. And even the politicians, whether it was local or somebody that was running on a state level, or legislative or whoever, they always came to the church. And then
Right
they might
before
not
the
have said,
election.
I mean, I was young, so I didn't really, it was once a year, but they would come and then people would ask them questions. And to me, it sounded like they were giving them the answers. Now I fast forward and I can comprehend a little bit better. It's talking points, and that's another thing. We don't hold our own accountable. Like we don't like. I mean, remember, Bunky, this was my whole beef with the Harris transition. Was like, yo, are
Right,
we gonna really hold her accountable, or are we gonna let her slide? You
right,
get what I'm saying? What are her
yeah,
policies? Like, that's the most important thing. And I don't think that, and it's not her fault because it's a whole party. She just
right,
went with the motion. They say, yo, listen, we're gonna dress you up, we're gonna dial you up. We need you to be you. Don't worry about the rest.
right.
But that's the
That's where
reason why we
she
lost. That's the reason why we. That's one of the reasons why we
I
lost.
mean, yeah, but the Democratic Party is out of touch. Period. That's why they lost. They're out
They
of touch
still
with
haven't
the
addressed
working
the issues. They
class. But
still haven't addressed it.
there's too much beef between themselves for them to really to they're just as bad as the Republicans when you think about it. No.
Yes,
It's really
yes,
because they don't want to. It's
Yeah.
they did for a little while. Like they're capable of getting focus,
Right.
but they focus in on the wrong things. When it comes to the support and ride or die, the Republicans got that. They don't care what Trump says. They gonna ride
yeah.
to the
They're gonna ride. They're gonna
wheels
ride this wagon.
fall off. Yeah.
But now that you're talking about it, let me ask Bishop this question. So with the engagement with the young people, so with the younger generations, they don't trust the church, they don't trust politics. They're like really, They
I don't
really
think they
don't
trust.
care.
I don't know that they don't trust the church. And I'm going to say this because it's a very,
We're skeptical. They're kind of skeptical.
it's fluid. They're skeptical
Yes.
of everything. This generation is skeptical of everything. It's not just
But
the church. They're
how does it?
skeptical. We're
But with the
skeptical of
church,
everything.
so how do they engage? How can the church? Because like you said, it should be talked about. It should have always been talked about. So what is a good way for the church to engage the young people about politics, like so that they're informed? Like, is there a way, like a youth service, like a political youth service, where we have, how do you engage and get them involved?
Take down the walls.
Have an open
Take
conversation.
down the walls. Here's the thing. Here's why. There's no set thing you can do. It's not a youth service. It's not a political rally. It's not any of that. We got to get back. We have to get back to grassroots conversation. We got to get back to them. See, it's not about what we say. The problem is that we say a whole lot of stuff. That's what the problem. That's the problem with the Democrats. That's the problem with the Republicans. They say a whole lot of stuff, but where's the actions? And so that's where we, as the church, we have to get back to grassroots. We got to get back to having conversation with our young people, relevant conversation, and not just talking at them, listening to them, hearing what they say.
Let's hear them, but we gotta take this break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Welcome back. Okay.
So,
yeah.
so when I say it is that,
It's very important
to be involved in things, to be involved in their lives, to be involved in the things, to care about the things that they care about. I have two very intelligent young men, and a daughter, and my kids are free thinking, and I'm teaching about church. I'm trying to live the life in front of them. But they're free thinkers, and we have conversations. Sometimes our conversations seem like they go left, but we listen. My wife and I listen, and we talk, and we find a way to be able to try to, again, that word relevant. Neither one of these parties is relevant anymore. I don't agree with everything that the Democrats do, and neither do I agree with everything that the Republicans do. If we're going to draw our young people back in, we need to start listening to them.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start remembering. I'm 60 years old. All right. Every day I find myself more and more being like my father. I'm that Geico commercial, turning into my father. But I'm striving every day to listen, because I'm in education. I want to listen. I listen to these kids. I want to know what they think. Why do they feel the way that they feel? Why are they going through what they're going through? Why did they? What was it that broke? Go back for your life, Bunky. Just go back for your life. What was it, to go back and to think about? What was it that broke for you when it came to the church? And so how do we fix those things?
Right.
How do we fix it? And does that mean that everything that they did was wrong? Because I'm finding out that a lot of folks did stuff that was wrong, but their heart was in the right place.
Yeah.
They just didn't know how to do it. I want to know how to better do it, because I want to touch my people in my community. I want to touch the people in my church. I want to touch the young people that I deal with every day. I want to be able to find a way for us to move forward together, because we will never move forward unless we do it together.
So how does that work? Well, because you should have an edge, because you're part of the Department of Education, so you deal with kids. So you understand, you're dealing with the way they think, why they think. So what is it that kids aren't going to church? There's no is there disinterest in church
No,
for kids?
Kids are not. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know, I've had a lot of time, a lot of time to think about this and to kind of contemplate it. It's not kids are searching. Kids are searching for something. They're searching for all of us. In fact, if we be honest, we're all searching for something. Sometimes we don't know what we're searching for, but there is an inherent, you know, desire within us to search for identity, and part of that is searching for our spiritual identity. A lot of this generation, you know why this generation doesn't go to church? And I blame my generation.
Go ahead.
My generation presented church on a garbage can lid.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we presented church, and I can't, again, remember, because I'm not about being religious. I'm about being relational. I'm a different type of
It's
guy.
all about the relationship. Yes.
I'm not about being religious. Being religious is just about I'm doing the duty of what I'm supposed to do. It's just it's the duty of what I do. I religiously brush my teeth every day. You know, so and that's good. Is it a good thing? Absolutely. It's not a bad thing. But God is not a God of religion. He's a God of relationship. And so the problem is that we presented the message that should have been a good message of love, a good message of grace, a good message of mercy, a good message of being authentic and unique in who you are. We present it on a garbage can lid. I go back to that Cosby show scenario when Vanessa brought Dabney home, and they didn't know why Dabney, you know, she couldn't understand why Huxtable, you know, Cliff Huxtable wouldn't accept him. And so he told him, he says, make your best meal. You got your steak, you got your potatoes, you got your vegetables. He says, and now it's all good. Now I'm going to go out and get the garbage can lid and I'm going to put the meal on it. It's not that the message is not good. It's just the way that it's been presented. That's the same thing that we got. That's the same thing that we got with the Democratic Party. It's not that they didn't have some good stuff in their message, but their presentation or their lack of being able to message it properly is what didn't resonate with a lot of voters. And so they lost voters, and some people didn't vote because they fell into a place of apathy. That's what's happening with this generation. This generation is falling into a spiritual place of apathy because we did not message this. We did not message this great gospel properly. So I'm sorry. You got me. I'm sorry. No. You got me amped up, man. I have to talk about that all night long.
Joey?
Nah, I'm glad you felt comfortable. You know, I'm glad that it flowed nice and easy. I could do the same. It's just, especially I don't know too much about we could get into the church thing, but you know, politics I could definitely go. But I definitely had a insightful conversation. It was pretty cool. Bishop John Williams, you know.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
No. I appreciate you, and I appreciate having elders like you around. You know, it's wild because we don't have a lot of positive elders who are willing to reach back to publicly say, "Yo, we messed up. Let me try to fix this."
Because, that's why I got
you know, no, because a lot of people they complain about the situation, and a lot of times they're part of the problem. And then you know, we're in this day and age where we don't give accountability, so we don't accept accountability. You get what I'm saying? So it's very hard to tell somebody something without them, oh my goodness, you're hurting my feelings. And it's like, nah, I'm not really hurting your feelings. I'm just telling you what you need to hear. You know, me not telling you would hurt your feelings because I care about you that much that I don't need you out here keep bumping your head doing the same thing.
And, you know, and that's it. That's love. That's what
it's
love
supposed
is.
To be. But you know, but it's switched up, and it's getting to the point to where the message and the messenger is getting turned away because they don't want to feel like, yo, the first thing you're gonna tell me is, yo, you a hater, you hating. Yo, you got less than what I got. I'm just trying to put you on. But because I'm the one who's telling you what you need to hear, I'm a hater. So it's like, all right, well, I don't have time for this. I really, time is of the essence. We're literally living to correct our wrongs or what was wrongfully taught to us. You get what I'm saying? Like I grew up,
Mhm.
my OG in the street, God bless his soul, was just laid to rest this weekend. This is a
Oh, I'm
guy that,
sorry.
yeah, and it's like, and it it was a bad influence, but he showed me things that I needed to know that helped me be the person that I am today. And even though we took different paths in lives, I could sit back and say, no, he showed me certain things. His method might have been bad, but I learned certain things, and at least I'm here to say that, yo, listen, your heart was good. How you taught me it was bad,
Well, your
but now
delivery
I'm
was a
here.
little rough, but
Yeah,
I
but
got
now
the
I'm
message.
here.
Yeah.
But now I'm here to recorrect it so that I'm not spreading the same bad message.
Right.
And
So
that's the lessons that we learn. Life is full of lessons. Life is full of challenges. That's why I said life keeps lifing.
Right.
It's not that I'm not concerned. It's not that I'm not outraged about certain things, but I understand I still have to get up every morning and continue to fight. I
Right.
got to get up every morning to make impact. We can't fall into a place of apathy. And you learn something, the scripture says this: all things work together for the good of them that love God and are called according to his purpose. It said it was working for your good, but it didn't say it would always feel good. And so it's like you take all the ingredients of a cake, all the individual ingredients of a cake are not good for you. You don't just go into the closet and say, hey, I want cake, and grab flour and start stuffing it in your mouth. You take all those ingredients that individually, some are sweet, some are not. You put it into the pan, you stir it up all together, and then it's still not done, because it might be nice to be able to put your finger in and eat the batter, but you got to put it in the oven and subject it to some heat before it comes out as a cake. That's life in general. And so I might be disappointed or even outraged about the outcome of Tuesday, but life keeps lifing. I got to get up and I got to keep fighting. This fight is not a fight, and it's not a battle that we can give up on. As long as I got breath in my body, I got to keep trying to push. And that's what we got to teach our young people. We can't give up. There's no retreat and surrender in this thing. We can't give up. So that's my encouragement to any young people that might be tuning in and watching this. You're
I
too valuable, too important to give up. Too valuable. You got too much power. I'm their worst enemy. I'm an educated black man, and I'm strapped.
Yeah, you the worst enemy. Oh, oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that?
No, no, listen, no, because I'm trying to go there my own self. I'm trying to get there my
I'm a
own
real
self.
OG. I'm sorry.
I think those are some great words to end by. I think that's a great shot. I think we're gonna have to, when Bishop is ready, come back,
no,
finish
I
this
got more
conversation.
questions. I definitely got more
I know,
questions.
because
But yeah, no,
I,
no, we
I
can
know,
bring them
and I'm
back.
glad. I'm
Man,
glad.
Bunky, give him my telephone number.
I sure will.
Let's
I
get
sure
together.
will.
Let's get together, Chad. Let's get together and do lunch.
Uh, And then
Yeah,
yeah, he's
yeah,
from,
yeah.
his family is 39 Clinton Avenue.
Wait,
Ah, yes, look, let me end this real quick. Bitch, you stay right there because we gotta end this.
I just
Listen,
preached
you
at 39 Clinton Avenue 2 weeks ago.
there's a connection, and I knew y'all didn't even know it. So listen, everybody, tell your friend, tell a friend, keep having this conversation. What a political conversation. Get out there and get informed. We still have the primaries coming up 2 years. We got 2 years to get ready. So I appreciate you. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. Bishop, stay here 1 minute.
Not going away.
I'll see you guys.